Good morning, beautiful light bearers. Araya here. I wanted to share something that I looked at the other day that was pretty interesting and got me thinking. And it was a story about a woman who had a near-death experience. And what she said is that she discovered when she died that every single thing she'd ever thought about herself was a projection of others people's feelings, thoughts, and ideas about her onto her that she had taken on. And that's in deep alignment for me, that information about how I feel, about how I changed my happiness through no longer allowing the power of other people's projections, perceptions, and energies to be projected onto me, so that my own sense of self and feelings about myself, whatever it was that I've cleared, whatever I've done that allows me to see myself a certain way, is the only thing that I access for feedback on what I bring into the world and who I am and how I show up. And so what I mean by that is I don't let other people's projections of me affect me anymore. When I used to, before I had consciousness of people's projections, before I had certain abilities that I have now, where I used to not be able to tell that somebody was attaching to me energetically, or I couldn't tell when somebody's energy was coming at me. That was many, many years ago. Before I had that, then I was a slave to anything that was put onto me became me. When I started to develop the full sensory perception, which is what Pleiadian light work does, I began to have more awareness of what was mine and what was others when energy was entering my field versus when it was just energy that came and flowed through me from source. And this ability to do that allows me to maintain my own sense of balance without being shaken or rattled by the energies of others. So I'll give you an example of how it shows up. When I walk by somebody, they might have a judgment about me or think something about me that really isn't the vibration I want to align with. And I will literally, it's almost like there's a couple seconds before I can feel the energy coming at me. It's almost like there's no time and space, and I can feel that moment right before it's about to enter my field. And I immediately will feel like almost like a violet light or a bubble or some sort of spongy like material that I just immediately pad. And then I actually shift my focus, and I don't even allow the thought of what they said to enter my mind. It's like I have a glimpse of what it was going to be, but I won't allow that energy to even enter my mind. Now, we all can do this. We all can do this. What it is it's about presence and becoming aware. And then as you start to do more, allow more cosmic downloads and allow your brain and your consciousness to alter and to evolve, you can also get even more sensitive to it. But even if you are still, building that skill set, it's simply presence that will allow you to not take in the energy. And that's when you know that you're starting to have true happiness and true sense of self-love, because it's your own energy that you're feeding into. So all the things that you do, meditation, yoga, positive thinking, affirmations, all that stuff actually will impact you. It will actually be effective, because what happens is if we're still taking in all these other energies from other people, then it's not as effective, because people are going to have judgments and things constantly. I mean, that's what happens here on this plane. So we have to allow ourselves to block that out and stay present, so that the only perception we have of ourselves, 95, and I'm sure this is like not 100% of the time with me even, but 95 to 99% of the time, that perception is your own. It's not what people have decided about you. And it could be their thoughts. It's not even like people that are that close to you. It could be random people that starts to build up in your energy field as the days go by. For example, being on social media, somebody watches a video of me and goes, oh, I don't like that, or oh, that's stupid, or oh, she needs to do this better, or whatever it is. It's like all this kind of noise and static energy that it becomes just, that's what it is. It's just noise. It doesn't enter into my being. It's not what I decide to be true. So I want to encourage you guys to stay in a state of presence and awareness. And if you feel like there's a negative thought starting to come in, I talked about yesterday one of my original spiritual teachers, who was a man named Bhagavan from India, part of the oneness movement. And he used to always say, your thoughts are not your thoughts. And that is so, so very true. Your thoughts are not your thoughts. Thoughts that are entering into your consciousness most of the time have been thought before. They come from a group of mass thought form energy that's here on this planet. And as you become conscious of what thought is entering. That's why there's all this talk about mindfulness meditation being so effective and things like that. As you become conscious of the thoughts that are entering your consciousness and no longer have attachment to them being your thoughts, then that's when you start having the power that you want to maintain your own equilibrium, your own higher selves or source energies, thoughts about you, which are pure love, pure non-judgment, pure love, and high consciousness about who you are and what you're doing in the world. All right, so how I'd like to close this is to just do a little transmission to you all for the ability to access total presence and be detached from your own sense of, be detached from other people's sense of you, so that you can become more fully embodied in the source connection that you have. All right, so starting that transmission now. For all whoever will receive this, who give permission to receive this, just closing the eyes and let the energy come in now. To activate that full sensory perception and that presence. All right, so that was just a little short one. So don't forget, every time you feel, somebody's about to send me energy, it could be like, they're about to, because something happened on the road in your car and you could tell like that's going to annoy someone or whatever it is. That spongy bubble, it just goes blink. You just immediately anchor it. It's like, that's around me, and it's going boop and bouncing off of that spongy bubble of protection around you. It is not allowed to enter. That projection and that negative energy is not allowed to enter. All right. Lots of love. Talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.